Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to today's edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys coming by the channel and taking some time out of your day to spend with me. We are going to be talking about spinning rod, guys, today. If you want to buy a spinning rod, the things to look for, the features in the spinning rod to really get the most out of your money, because there's a lot of different elements in spinning rods. I think a lot of people don't really take into consideration. So today's topic, we're going to go over that. So if you're looking for a spinning rod, you can get the most bang out of your buck for it. Also, guys, just want to invite everybody out there, if you haven't had a chance, to please consider subscribing here to Intuitive Angling. It's free and easy, man. Right now, we've only got like 40% of the people that watch the videos are subscribed. Good way to support the channel if you want to hit that subscribe button. So much appreciated. Okay, guys, spinning rods. One of the things I want to talk a little bit about here on a spinning rod is when you're talking about, everybody's got a budget, or most people have a budget on their fishing tackle. And some of the things you can save money on, and some of the things you need to splurge a little bit. Now, if there's one piece of equipment that I would suggest you guys splurge on, it is a spinning rod. Because a spinning rod, one of the most important elements of a spinning rod is it's for finesse presentations. And it's like spinning rods, they need to feel right in your hand. From head to toe, everything about it needs to feel right, because a lot of times you're sitting there, you're shaking a little drop shot, or you're shaking a little shaky head like that. And for the rod to be sort of an extension of your hand is super, super important. Now, a lot of you guys, if you've ever played golf before, you understand what I'm talking about, that certain clubs, when you purchase a club, they just feel better in your hand, and it makes you execute the shot better. And it's the same with the spinning rod. If you have a spinning rod that has all the key features on it and feels right in your hand, you're going to make better casts. It's just going to make for a better sensitivity all the way around. So here's some elements I want to go into. First of all, one of the things that I would suggest in a spinning rod, first of all, let's talk about the length. There's two different lengths that I primarily use. One is a 6 feet 11 inch rod, and the other is a 7-foot rod and a spinning rod. Now, most of the time for the 6'11", that's for my jerk baits, my shaky heads, my jerk baits, and like my drop shots, Ned rigs, small crankbaits, that type of stuff. And then the 7-foot model is going to be something for more like my wacky rigs or a shaky head, something that I need a little bit more power and leverage to set the hook in. My favorite rod, guys, is this P5 Megabass here. This is a freaking awesome rod, and I'll link this in the description of my video, my Tackle Warehouse link, along with all the other spinning rods. If you guys are looking to purchase a spinning rod, using that link is a good way to support the channel, but I'll put everything in there in the description on this. But let me talk a little bit about the features that you need to look for. One of the things I like about this P5 and any spinning rod that you buy, you need to have some type of a ergonomically designed handle here. Now, this Megabass P5, there's been a lot of thought into the detail on this handle as far as the ergonomic design. It makes it just feel really, it sort of molds to your hand, and that's a big deal for like your shaking. Next thing, when you're looking for a spinning rod, guys, do not get one that has too long of a handle. The Megabass handle's a perfect length. A lot of handles out there on spinning rods are too long. And what happens is I've seen some of these spinning rods where they go way up on your forearm, and you're always knocking against, your forearm here. So this, about an 8 to 10 inch handle, is about a perfect length on there. Another thing that you need to look at closely, and the description of the rod will tell you a lot, is like the element of the design of the rod itself, as far as how the rod is made and the elements that actually make up the rod. That's an important feature in there. And cool thing about the Megabass rods is they have a complete description of how the fibers and the carbon in the rod are designed, and different elements of the rod that it fits into. Here's another important element, guys, is you want to have a titanium frame guide on here. These Megabass P5s are all a titanium guide. Super strong, and they're super light. This rod is like light as a feather. It doesn't weigh anything. So the titanium guides are really important out there, along with the 5 carbon, design of the rod blank itself. But the main thing, guys, is, if you're gonna spend a little bit of money in your fishing, make sure you do it on a spinning rod. You're not gonna regret it. If you buy a cheaper spinning rod and then you put, a rod like this P5 Megabass in your hand, it's like night and day, the sensitivity. I mean, most other rods, they feel super lethargic and heavy. This thing's light as a feather. It's crisp. I mean, it just feels good in your hand when you guys use it. It's the best way I can describe it. But the main thing is before you purchase a spinning rod, every single manufacturer out there, like I said, I'll link them all in the Tackle Warehouse description. Take some time to read the description because they will describe the construction process in the rod as far as the components, and that will really determine, you purchasing the rod or not. And that's one of the biggest, that's the difference between a great rod like the P5, like a top of the line spinning rod, and an average spinning rod is the quality of the components. Everything about the rod, the internal part of it, all the handle components, whether it be the cork or just every part of it, the guides, the components of the rod make all the difference as far as the quality of that rod. And another thing that you're going to find out about spinning a little bit more on a good spinning rod is if you buy a cheap rod that's got like cheap construction on the blank itself, a lot of times, like if you lean these rods up against a wall over a period of time, they will take a set and they'll actually bend a little bit and they'll have a curve in them. But a really high quality rod will not do that. It's well worth the investment. And like I said, this Megabass P5, it has a 3-year warranty on it. That's another important thing, is to have a good warranty. And you guys know me. I'm not a person out there that is into spending a ton of money on, fishing equipment and that type of stuff. But when it comes to the things that make a difference and they don't cost that much more than other ones, things like that Megabass jerkbait, Megabass rods out there, for the little bit extra cost that they are, it's well worth it in the long run, in my opinion. So anyway, guys, that's sort of the features that, that I would suggest in the spinning rod. Like I said, I'll link a bunch of spinning rod stuff in the description of the video if you guys are looking for some. And hope it helps out. Hope you guys get some more bites by choosing the right rod there. Talk later.